Hey everyone, so today I wanted to share the best and worst e.l.f. makeup products. I usually film this video every single year, but there have been so many launches since I last did this video, I think like last summer or last fall, and also a ton of launches within the past month or two. So in today's video, I wanted to share my thoughts on all of the newest launches and just products from 2023 in general, and then all of the viral makeup products, like things you tend to see all over social media, the products that are always sold out in stores and online. And I'll let you know which ones are my favorites, which ones are worth the hype, and the ones that I think you could probably skip over. I will put timestamps in the description box because I'm going to be talking about a ton of products. I'll start with all of the newer launches and then work my way over to the viral makeup products. And if you're looking for like some hidden gems, some older favorites, my video from last year includes a lot of older products I still love. So I'll link that one below if you want to check it out. But let's kick it off with new products that launched within like the last month or two. Let's start with this product. It's their new liquid Poreless Putty Primer. This is not something I knew I needed until I tried it out because I do love the original Poreless Putty Primer. I think it does a good job. And at this point, there are a ton of different versions. My personal favorite is the matte version because it is very smoothing, but also incredibly mattifying. And I like that formula because it's very lightweight. But normally when I'm reaching for an e.l.f. primer, I usually do reach for the Power Grip because it really extends the wear of my makeup. And it also leaves my skin looking really smooth at the same time. So when this launched, I was curious to try it out because I usually do try pretty much all new e.l.f. products. But I don't know that my expectations were incredibly high for it. I thought I would like it, but I didn't think it would be a lot different than the original. The reason why I like this one is because of the liquid texture. You can just work it into your skin so easily. It just blends in, melts in such a beautiful way. And I do have a lot of large pores, specifically like right in the center of my nose. And when I wear this product and apply it to that area, it just basically erases the pores for the day, obviously. And when you wear foundation on top, it just glides over the area and it looks so incredibly smooth. And on top of that, foundation really does wear so well. I find that I get a similar wear time as when I'm wearing one of their Power Grip primers. Obviously, they're very different formulas. If you're not a fan of like the sticky, tacky texture of the Power Grip, but you like the wear time, maybe try this out because it does create a smooth base, but you also get extended wear. So I love this. I've been using it pretty much every single day since I tried it, probably about a month ago. Maybe a little bit less. I can't remember exactly when this launched, but as soon as it launched and I tried it, I have not put it down because it's that good. So e.l.f. recently redid their lip exfoliators, and I was so excited when they kind of relaunched this formula. I liked the original lip exfoliator, and then they came out with the Cookies and Dreams collaboration, and they had a lip exfoliator in that collection, and it was just a lot different. And I preferred that formula so much, and I feel like that's what the new formula feels like. This formula is a lot softer than the original one. The original one felt kind of rough on the lips, and as you applied it to the lips, it kept its shape. This one is very, very soft. So you'll see as you kind of apply it to the lips that it doesn't want to stay in like that lipstick shape. It's almost the type of formula that you would find in like a pot. But the reason why I like this formula so much better than the original is because it does exfoliate the lips, but it's also very, very moisturizing. And I felt like the original formula was kind of missing that moisturizing aspect that I do like when I use a lip exfoliator. I personally think it's just as effective. It's just a lot more gentle and more enjoyable to use. They also have additional scents or flavors. I just have the brown sugar one, but if you didn't like that one, there are other options now too. So this is great. I love it. If you tried the Cookies and Dreams formula and you liked that texture, you'll definitely like the new texture too. e.l.f. launched these little Squeeze Me lip balms not too long ago, and a lot of people were thinking they were a replacement for the Ride or Die lip balms, which were discontinued not too long ago, but I know a lot of people loved the Ride or Die lip balms. The formulas are very, very different. The Ride or Die lip balms were very thick. They almost had like that overnight lip mask feel to them, so they would last on the lips. They were incredibly hydrating, and they did come in some different colors. They weren't my favorite because first of all, they were really difficult to get out of the packaging, and on top of that, some of them had like a lot of pigment, and usually I like my lip balm to be a little bit more subtle. But I know a lot of people loved that formula so much. So I do prefer the new formula, but it's a lot different. It's very lightweight, very glossy. It's definitely on the thinner side than the Ride or Die lip balms. So I find that for me, they're more ideal for like everyday wear because you don't have a thick, almost lip mask feeling type of product on the lips. But they still do a great job moisturizing. I feel like the product itself leaves my lips moisturized even for like a few hours after it's worn off. They're very, very sheer. They have like a slight hint of color, but not anything like the Ride or Die lip balms, which were a lot more pigmented. So I'm not saying these are a really good alternative if you loved the Ride or Die lip balms, but if you didn't like that formula and you like something a little bit just like thinner, more for like everyday use, you might really like these. I think they're great. I'm a big fan of them. My favorite scent is strawberry, but I like the way grape looks on the lips. I don't necessarily have a ton of skincare products to talk about in today's video. Most of them are makeup products, but I did want to touch on this because it is a brand new launch. It's the e.l.f. Off Makeup Remover, and it's part of their Holy Hydration line. The Holy Hydration line is one of my favorite skincare lines of all time. I love every single product I've tried from that line, but this is probably my least favorite. I wouldn't consider it to be like an absolute terrible product. It works really well to remove my face makeup, but I have a harder time removing my eye makeup with this product, and especially eye makeup that tends to stay in place well. I don't use a ton of like super waterproof eye makeup, but even just like a long wearing mascara is kind of difficult to get off with this product. I actually use this product twice, and that's how much I use. So I feel like I would probably end up going through this entire bottle within like 2 weeks. It's $7, so it's pretty inexpensive, but I use the Garnier micellar water, and you get a ton of product in there, and I feel like a little bit goes such a long way, especially the waterproof version, that I think I'll probably just stick with that. I wanted to share my thoughts on the new Sun Touchable Invisible Sunscreen. I picked this up from Ulta because I was curious to know how it compared to the Sun Touchable Whoa Glow. This launched a few months ago, and I love this product because it definitely gives your skin a gorgeous glow, a really smooth finish. So obviously you're protecting your skin, but you're also able to wear makeup on top of this product, and it looks perfect. So I have this under my makeup today, and I feel like that's what's responsible for a lot of the glow that I have going on, because the glow actually shines through your makeup, which I think is nice, but it doesn't break me out. It's a very smooth, gentle formula in my experience, and I really love this one specifically to wear under makeup. So anyway, they launched the Invisible sunscreen fairly recently. This is a broad spectrum SPF 35. It's supposed to give you sun protection and then also be a blurring primer. I don't like wearing this one under makeup as much as the Whoa Glow. It definitely has a different texture. It feels like a very silicone, slippery feeling primer. So I feel like when I wear makeup on top of the Invisible one, my makeup moves around. It never like fully settles down. And it does give you a little bit more of like a matte base, but I feel like I'd rather just reach for the e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer on top of a sunscreen I actually like. Like my makeup does not wear well on top of the Invisible one. I'll wear this one on its own and then just like set it with powder if we're going to the park or we're going to be outside and I'm not wearing makeup, and I feel like that works perfectly fine. So on its own, it's definitely nice, but I wear makeup most days. I love wearing makeup. So I like this one on its own too because it gives you like that natural, beautiful glow. So between the two, I would go with the Whoa Glow. The Invisible one is like a higher SPF. I wish they were both like SPF 40. I feel like that would be really, really ideal. This is a little bit of a newer launch as well. It is the Sun Touchable All Set for Sun Broad Spectrum SPF 45 Sunscreen Setting Spray. So if you're looking for a setting spray that has that sunscreen mixed in, this is a really good option because I don't find that it burns my eyes, it doesn't irritate my skin, and it wears really well on top of makeup. It does give me a really glowy finish. So if you're looking for like a matte long wearing finish, this isn't ideal. It definitely gives you a glow, but it's really pretty on the skin. I think this is a nice way to set your makeup, get a little bit of added protection there. I think obviously the most ideal way to wear sunscreen is to wear it under makeup and wear the proper amount. So if you're not someone who's going to take off your makeup, reapply it throughout the day, something like this is nice just to apply a little bit of sunscreen on top. And then the last product I wanted to mention that just recently came out would be the Perfect 10 eyeshadow palette. So I did get two. This one came in the older packaging. So for some of them, they just repackaged them and then they launched a few new color stories. So my personal favorite is this one. I am wearing shades from the Mad for Matte palette on my eyes today. And I mentioned in a video, like I thought I had this palette years ago, and one of you said they actually used to sell this with like a full-on mirror. I didn't have like that clear top. So if you buy it now, I do think it will come in like the fully updated packaging, which is in black. It looks more like this one. So I do have this one as well. I forget the exact name because I accidentally took it off when I took the sticker off, but I think it has the word intergalactic in it. Maybe that's the full name. This one has some updated formulas in it. The Matte for Matte palette just has like a very soft, buildable matte formula that's really easy to work with. This palette has a few shadows like that, and then it has some really intense metallics. I'm going to swatch this one for you specifically so you can see what the shades look like, because there are really gorgeous, almost like creamy foiled metallics in here, like shadows that you would find in a high-end palette. So I'm really impressed by this one. I don't wear this one quite as much because this color story isn't something I reach for every single day, but I do think it is really fun to have, and I feel like those icy shades are going to be shades that I wear quite a bit during the winter. Most of the new palettes do lean kind of neutral, and again, they had some on their website for a while. They just updated the packaging. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on these. I do think overall I prefer the bite-sized formula. I think the bite-sized palettes are great. The matte shadows are a little bit more pigmented compared to the matte shadows in the Perfect 10 palettes. So if you do like a softer, more buildable shadow, maybe go for these. But that being said, the shimmers in here are more intense than the shimmers in the bite-sized palettes. They're probably not absolute must-haves if you have eyeshadow that you're really happy with, but if you're looking for like a quick palette for everyday looks, I don't think you can go wrong with them. Okay, let's talk about the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wands. Now, let me preface this by saying that my thoughts on these are probably on the unpopular side. Whenever I talk about these and share my opinion, a lot of people tend to disagree with me. So these could definitely work for you based on your skin type, your preferences, the way you like your makeup to look. They just were not my favorite launch from e.l.f. personally. And that's just how it goes with makeup. Like sometimes products that everyone loves, you hate, and sometimes products you hate, everyone else seems to love. And that was definitely the case for me with this product. Although I have heard from some of you who didn't like these either. So they came out with highlight wands, contour wands, and blush wands. Let's start with the blush wands. The blush wands for me are not ideal because they almost have like this metallic sheen to them. So they're not flattering on my skin at all. I do have textured skin. I talk about that a lot. And I don't mind a glowy blush. In fact, I do prefer it. But like a full-on metallic blush never looks good on me, especially a liquid, because I feel like it just highlights all of the texture. And when I wear these, like my skin looks terrible. It looks so much worse than I feel like it actually is. It makes it look like I have texture where I don't. So my issue with this formula is mainly the finish of it. I feel like it's just not a flattering finish on me personally. And again, that's coming from someone who does wear like metallic highlighters and glowy blushes, but these just don't look great on me. I also don't love the fact that they do end up looking a little bit patchy, which is where the contour ones come in, because these also look patchy on me. And I feel like my biggest pet peeve when it comes to a contour or a bronzer is like a very patchy finish. For as long as I can remember, like ever since I've been on YouTube and I've been trying a lot of bronzers, I feel like so many of them look patchy or muddy or uneven. And that's definitely the case with these. I feel like I can usually make them work. Like I'll apply it and then I'll just kind of like go in and touch it up and reapply it and try to get like a perfectly smooth finish. And I can usually get there in the end, but there are so many liquid contour products out there, so many amazing cream bronzers, that this just isn't something that I love. I also don't contour a ton. And depending on the shade you get, like some of them look more like a contour, some look more like a bronzer, but every time I use these, they end up looking pretty muddy and uneven, and they just don't look great on me. And I feel like there are just so many good alternatives out there that I prefer that I just don't reach for them anymore. Out of the three, I definitely like the highlighters the best. I feel like these look a lot better on my skin than the other two. They're not patchy or uneven at all, and these do have like a metallic finish, but I feel like they're more flattering than the blushes. I wouldn't say that I'm reaching for this formula over like my Flower Beauty highlighter or my Milani liquid highlighters, but I do think out of the three, these work the best for me personally. Those were all of the new launches from 2023 that I've personally tried. I'm curious to see what else they launch because we still have a little bit of time left in 2023, so I feel like there are probably a few other big launches coming, and I'll definitely try them out and review them for you. But let's move on to some viral makeup products, things that tend to be sold out that get a ton of hype on social media. I'll let you know which ones I think are worth the hype. So we just talked about cheek products I didn't like, but two cheek products that I really do like would be their putty bronzers and putty blushes, specifically the luminous version. The matte versions are good. I think those perform nicely, but the luminous versions are really just so gorgeous on the skin. Now keep in mind, these do have glitter in them. I don't typically see the glitter on my skin. You can usually see the glitter in the pan, like when you're looking at the product, but usually that doesn't translate to my skin. And I've tried these with a ton of brushes. I've tried them with my fingers, with sponges. I almost wonder if it's like the batch that people have, like maybe it was mixed a little bit differently, but when I wear these, they don't look glittery on my skin. They truly just look like very luminous, very glowy. But I did want to put that out there. So again, I love the blushes just as much as the bronzers. These look so healthy on the skin, incredibly glowy, just really, really pretty. While we are on the topic of glowy products, I have to talk about the Halo Glow Liquid Filter. When I filmed my video last year, I think this product had only been out for like a month or two, so I didn't include it in my video because I was still getting into it, still trying it out. I think it is such a gorgeous product. As far as like dupes or alternatives go, I think this is one of their best. I did try the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter a few years ago, and I like this one better. I think it is almost a little bit thicker, so it looks incredibly smooth on the skin, and it's perfect to mix in with either your primer or just like your facial moisturizer or your foundation if you want that added glow. I know a lot of people wear this as like their main base product, like almost in place of foundation, and I just can't do that. I have really large pores and oily skin and texture and breakouts, so it doesn't look great on me for that purpose. And I know a lot of people love to use it that way, but I do love mixing it in with my products when I want that added glow. It's such a smooth texture and it just makes everything look really, really pretty. So I'm a big fan of this one. It's one of their more expensive makeup products, but totally worth the money. I've had this one since I purchased it originally, and I feel like there's still so much product in here. I don't know that I would consider this next product like a truly viral product, but I feel like any day now it's going to happen. It's definitely gaining more traction. It is their Halo Glow setting powder. So I recently picked up the light pink shade. Before this, I was using the, like, I think it was just light. It was more yellow toned, and I do like that one too, but the light pink is so pretty. If you're looking to try a light pink, I do recommend this one. This formula is stunning. It really does feel like a high-end powder. I told you guys, I think I've mentioned this in videos in the past, but I used to have the Hourglass Loose Setting Powder, and this one, in my opinion, is very similar, but better. I think the name scares people a little bit because it's called Halo Glow. So a lot of people ask me, like, does that have shimmer in it? Does it have glitter in it? It doesn't have either one of those things in it. It just gives your skin like a natural luminosity that you don't get from a lot of powders. But even that, like even saying it that way, I feel like is misleading because it is a powder. It sets your makeup into place, but it's just so soft, really pretty. It almost diffuses the skin. And if you've tried like the Hourglass ambient lighting powders, that's what this looks like on the skin, but it's $8. It is so good. I'm going to share a product that I really loved when it first launched, and I probably did like it for about a year, but it's something that I changed my mind about, and I don't love it personally, and that is the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream. So when this first launched, I feel like my makeup preferences were a lot different. I only wore like super full coverage makeup, and I almost didn't mind if it was a little bit heavier or kind of cakey because I just wanted the coverage. I definitely still like a good full coverage foundation, but I feel like formulas have come such a long way. So these days you can get full coverage, but you can get like a lighter, more natural looking foundation. So because of that, the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream just doesn't really fit into my makeup routine anymore. It's a little bit of a thicker, heavier product. And the e.l.f. Cosmetics CC Cream did have like a very moisturizing feel to it, but after a few hours, it started to look really heavy and cakey on the skin. At least like the last few times I had tried it before I decluttered it. So that is not my personal favorite product from the brand. I know a lot of people enjoy it, but a lot of people hate it too. I'm waiting for them to kind of revamp their foundation line because they do have a really good foundation for like $6, their Flawless Finish foundation. But I feel like they could come out with a few other options that would kind of fit different preferences, like a glowy foundation, a serum foundation, just some different options. So I feel like that has to be coming soon. In the beginning of the year, I said I thought it was coming in 2023. Maybe it still will, but I feel like maybe 2024. At least I hope so. So the CC Cream, not my favorite, not something I would recommend. That being said, I do love their Camo CC Powder Foundation. This is such a good powder foundation. Actually, the first time I tried this out, or maybe not like the very first time, but very soon afterwards, I kind of decluttered the rest of my powder foundations with the exception of the Essence one that I tried a few months ago, because there's just nothing quite as good as this product. It has amazing coverage, but it looks very smooth on the skin. It doesn't look dry or powdery or cakey. It wears so nicely throughout the day. And I felt like all of the other powder foundations I had, like even the high-end ones, even the more expensive ones, always ended up looking pretty dry and powdery on my skin. And that is like never the case with this one. I usually use it with a damp beauty sponge if I want a lot of coverage, or I'll use it with like a buffing brush and really buff it into the skin. Either way, it looks so, so good on the skin. I don't wear powder foundation every single day, and especially during the summertime, I tend to reach for liquid foundations or just like a tinted sunscreen and a little bit of concealer. And when that's the case, I do reach for the Halo Glow powder. But during the winter and the fall, for some reason, that's when I prefer powder foundation. So I'll definitely be breaking this one out again. Of course, I can't talk about viral makeup products without talking about the Power Grip primers. So I do have the original one, and then I also have the Power Grip with niacinamide in it. This is my personal favorite. The original one is great. And again, as far as dupes go, I do feel like this is a really, really good dupe for the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. I haven't tried that one in a few years. I think ever since they launched this one, but I pretty much stopped using that one because I found that I liked this one better. It was a little bit more hydrating, and it also locked my makeup into place a little bit better. And I felt like the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip, while it worked, did clog my pores a little bit and caused me to break out. So anyway, they launched the niacinamide version, I think last year, and I like this one better. I feel like it just gives your skin like an extra smooth look, an extra added glow, and these are great. I cannot get enough of them. I feel like these can be a little bit intimidating because they do have like that sticky texture to them. And when I first tried them, I was like, there is no way my foundation is going to look smooth on top of this formula, but it really does. It doesn't stick to it in a bad way. Like you can easily blend foundation onto this formula, but it just grips onto it and makes it last so long throughout the day. So definitely one of their viral products that I totally think is worth the hype. e.l.f. has improved their mascaras so much. I feel like most improved has to go to their mascara formulas because I remember a few years ago, I bought like every mascara they had and tried them all, and I could not find even one that I liked. I think there was actually one, but the rest of them were terrible in my opinion. So they've launched a few over the years. I do like Big Mood. I also like Lash It Loud, but I think my absolute favorite is the one that they launched. Did this come out last year or this year? I actually think maybe it was this year, but this is the Lash and Roll. This is such a good everyday mascara because it does a great job of like lifting and separating the lashes and giving you almost like a curled open effect. It's not overly dramatic, so you're not going to get like intense volume or intense length, but I think if you want something not clumpy, very eye-opening, very separating, this is a perfect formula. Let's finish up with a few lip products. So I have a formula that I love that I definitely think is worth the hype, one that I don't like that I don't think is worth the hype, and then one that kind of falls in the middle. So let me start with my favorite. I have these on today. Again, did these launch in 2023 or was it 2022? I thought it was the end of 2022, but now I can't remember. These are the O-Face Satin Lipsticks. So I'm wearing a mix of No Doubt, and then I have a little bit of the shade Hustle on top, just kind of mixed together. I really like this formula. This truly does feel like a high-end formula to me. And again, the product that this is supposed to be, or a lot of people are thinking it dupes, would be the NARS Audacious lipsticks, which I used to love, but these days I just can't justify spending like $30 on a regular lipstick because I don't wear this type of formula as much as I do like a lip oil or a lip gloss. And honestly, you don't have to spend $30 on that formula anymore because these do feel like high-end lipsticks. Now, they're significantly more expensive than e.l.f.'s other lipsticks or their previous launches. A lot of their lip products used to retail for like $3 or $4. So I know $9 is a big jump, but I think the quality jump is also there. These are incredibly creamy. They stay in place well. They're very, very comfortable. They have a ton of shades to choose from, and they just feel luxurious. I totally think they're worth it. So the viral makeup product that didn't work for me, the viral lip product that didn't work for me would be their Hydrating Core Lip Shines. Is that what they're called? I just double checked. That is what they're called. They're $7, and they're basically supposed to be like really moisturizing tinted lip balms. I don't know why those didn't work for me. I feel like they have such good reviews. People rave about them and love them so, so much, but I felt like they really dried my lips out, which was so strange for a lip balm. Especially now that they have these lip balms, I don't know that I'll try those again. I felt like the color that I got also wasn't very flattering on me, so that might be part of the reason why I didn't like it, but it felt dry when I applied it, and it just dried my lips out as I wore it throughout the day. So unfortunately, that is a viral product that I didn't love. And then the one that kind of falls in the middle for me would be the glossy lip stains. I do like these, but I feel like for them, or for you to get the best benefit from these, you have to choose one that's a little bit deeper or more vibrant. They do have some lighter nudes, like this one is called Pinkies Up, which on me is kind of like almost a very similar color to my natural lip color, but I also have some beautiful shades. Like this one is called Berry Queen, and this one to me is the best because you get a more intense, vibrant stain. I'll swatch these for you and then like wipe off the glossy layers so you can see what the stain looks like. Obviously, like the deeper the lip color, the better stain you're going to get. So I feel like if you want one that really does last on the lips, go with one of the deeper shades like a red or a berry. But I like the actual formula. It does give you a really pretty glossy sheen, and then once that glossy layer wears off, you get a really nice stain throughout the day. They're very lightweight, so it doesn't feel uncomfortable or dry. In fact, I do feel like it does moisturize my lips really well. And I know a lot of high-end brands have launched like hydrating or glossy lip stains over the last few years. And if you don't want to commit to those, the e.l.f. ones are great. I just think you have to go with like a deeper or more vibrant one to get the best effect. Okay, that was a lot of products. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you like drugstore videos or you like watching reviews on e.l.f., I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I'll definitely be reviewing and trying out anything else they launch in 2023 because they're definitely one of my favorite brands. As you can see in today's video, most of their products are definitely hits for me with only a few misses, but that's just inevitable. For the most part, you won't like everything a brand launches, but I do like most of their products. I think they're really killing it. So I'm excited to see what else they have in store for the rest of 2023. But thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Bye.